Here is my beginner's guide to the EVE Vanguard contracts, covering everything you need to know to get the job done. This is based on the December and January playtests, and EVE Vanguard is a work in progress. If there are any significant changes, I'll update or rework the video as necessary. So let's start at the basics. When you first deploy, you'll get the choice of 3 missions. In the current playtest build, only the squad leader is able to select the active contract, whilst other members are able to view what is available. If you successfully complete that mission, you'll be presented with the same 2 missions you didn't pick, and a new random one is added. There are 10 missions in total, and for dedicated players it is possible to complete them in a single server instance. The mission payouts are for each player, so it offers an advantage compared to playing solo, as there is no scaling of the mission requirements. The contract Dust to Dust is always kill 20 enemies, so that's less work per player. Missions which have you completing objectives near the core offer better payouts due to the greater potential risk of encountering other players. Mission objectives remain active upon death. You can redeploy if you have necessary clones, but they will not persist between play sessions. Each server instance has a defined ending time. From what has been revealed so far, it is somewhat dynamic based on how quickly players kill NPCs and loot materials, but once it hits the 4th refresh stage, you'll have 5 minutes to complete whatever mission you're on and to extract. The missions will either have you exploring, gathering resources, hacking things, crafting then hacking things, or straight up shooting. For most missions, the objective's general location is highlighted on your map, but for the Defibrillation and Dust to Dust, it is up to you to explore. At this stage, we're not sure if it's a bug or a feature, but other squad members' mission items can be highlighted if they're nearby. I've only seen this with the Defibrillation and Inroads missions, but other players have noticed it on the core and Blueboxing missions. For new players, the crafting items can be found by pressing Z and selecting whatever you want to make. Provided you have the resources, it will create the item after a short timer. For this guide, when I say hack, I just mean a long press of the E button. This is how you'll interact with most of the mission items, the exception being when you need to deploy relay units. Here you have to press F and deploy onto the mission item like you would a shield or extraction beacon. An important thing to note is any hacking objective will be disrupted if you are shot at. Now to the actual missions themselves. I'm not going to give you a step-by-step guide of all the locations of the mission items. It's not my playstyle and I think it runs counter to my enjoyment of exploring in the game. But that said, here is what you need to know for each mission. I'll be working through the missions by payout value, and the first on the list is Defibrillation at 30k credits. Whilst this is the lowest payout, it can be easily completed if you stick to the outskirts of the map. It involves activating panels on fallen debris, therefore open areas such as the acid pool section of the map should be avoided. There is no set objective area on the minimap. You will need to find the locations by searching the debris. The locations such as the cryogenic storage and clone bay north of the sulfur swamps can quickly bring up your total. To complete the mission, find the correct panels. From a distance they will glow red, but once you are near enough they will have a blue highlight around them. Hack the panel by pressing E whilst directly in front of it to complete a short timer. Once done, you're on to the next one, 12 in total to complete the mission. This is a good starter mission and well suited to solo players. It allows you to explore the map without too much risk. Next on the list is Scattered Remains at a 35k payout. This is a simple mission that can often be completed quickly if it's not your first contract. You are only required to deposit 30 electronic parts in one of 2 map locations. If you already have them on your inventory, you're halfway there. Electronic parts can easily be picked up by killing other players. Hold E whilst in front of the box to deposit the electronic parts. You're also not required to turn them in one go. If you don't have 30, you can deposit what you do have and then come back later. No witnesses at 45k. A mission that will have you traversing a large portion of the map. This requires you to locate and destroy 8 surveillance units. These cannot be meleeed, so you need to create some noise and shoot them. This noise is a beacon to other nearby players, so if you're just starting out, this may not be a great pick of mission. Once the correct surveillance unit is destroyed, that highlighted mission area will disappear. The 2 main areas for this mission are Conduit and the cryogenic storage. As of the January playtest, this mission could be frustrating. Destroying a surveillance unit is not permanent and it will respawn. Combining this with overlapping mission areas, it meant that players can be confused as to why the objective was not updating. For this mission, the sound cues are particularly useful. Use them in combination with a mission mark on the compass to pin down the correct surveillance unit. Whalefall at 45k. The core of this mission is to craft 4 relay units and deploy them onto these orbs. The mission item area is highlighted on your map and the orb's location doesn't change. It is always the same orb, or at least it has always been in the playtest so far. It will be highlighted blue once you get into range. The relay units do require a significant amount of resources, 20 nanites, 50 energy cells and 1 electronic part. This is rather high given the demand for energy resources to craft energy rounds. You'll therefore need to visit a loot site or kill enemy players to get the necessary materials. Once crafted, the method for completing the mission is simple. Locate the one highlighted orb, select the relay unit from your deployable menu, and click on the mission item. This is an instant process, with the most difficult aspect selecting it from your inventory. This is an easy solo mission as it doesn't require you to make noise, and the objectives can be completed one at a time. Inroads at a 55k payout. This mission requires you to craft a decryptor key and hack 6 terminals to complete. The decryptor key is dropped on death but can be picked up from other players. I would not recommend completing this mission when first deploying, given the resource cost. You cannot craft a decryptor key with the resources you spawn with. You'll need to craft an interface component, that's 35 energy cells and 3 electronic parts, before an additional 30 nanites and 30 energy cells to create the decryptor key. The terminals themselves will only glow when you have a decryptor key in inventory. This can prove more challenging when working as a squad, as only those with keys will see the correct objectives. This mission can prove frustrating for the same reason as no witnesses. Objectives will respawn a short while after completing, but will not count for additional progress. There should be 4 terminals per highlighted mission area. If it's still showing on your map, there is at least 1 still to activate. Depending on your situation though, sometimes it's best to cut your losses and move on to the next location. Next up we have Desecration at 62k payout. On to the more challenging missions. This one will have you exploring the core wreckage with many of the mission items found in the Cryo Lake. So bring some earplugs. Explore the mission area until you find a highlighted body. You will need to search it to find the specific location where to loot. This can prove frustrating, especially if you're like me and can't remember exactly which bodies you've already done. Stealth is the name of the game for this one. There is no need to actively shoot to complete this mission. Turrets and NPCs should be avoided so you don't give away your position. The neural mappings you've collected are lost upon death. To my knowledge, looting your own corpse and other players will not get them back. Whilst it may be tempting to turn them in before you have the complete 8 required, it is a dangerous trek to the outskirts of the map to complete this mission. It may be risky, but an all or nothing approach may be necessary. This is not a mission I'd recommend for solo players. Having squad mates escort the player with the neural mappings is a much more effective strategy. Threads at a 70k payout. Like the Whalefall mission, this one will have you crafting relay units. Although only 3 are required this time, they need to be deployed onto 3 panels in the central wreckage, 2 being inside the bowhead itself and another just outside. The mission item area is highlighted on your map and the panel locations don't change. The relay units do require a significant amount of resources, 20 nanites, 50 energy cells and 1 electronic part. This is rather high given the demand for energy resources to craft energy rounds, but this can be gathered near the objectives if required. Given the high resource costs, it is not a mission I'd recommend when you first deploy. Once crafted, the method of completing the mission is simple. Locate the panel, select the relay unit from your deployers menu and click on the mission item. This is an instant process with the most difficult aspect selecting it from your inventory. This mission can be completed quickly but also works solo as you're not required to shoot and make noise. My tip is to complete the outside panel last as it is the most likely to involve having to clear the NPCs from the area. If things are looking dire, you can always rush to the objective and deploy before you're gunned down, therefore still completing the mission. Next up is Dust to Dust at 75k. This one has to be the easiest contract to explain. Kill players, NPCs and turrets, 20 down and you're done. There is no set mission area for this one and you're free to roam the map. It's a good starter mission as it doesn't require resources, barring ammo, and you can explore the map at your leisure. Solo players may take longer to complete this one, although map knowledge will help you understand where it's best to farm kills. Blueboxing at a 90k payout. This mission requires you to head to the core, unlock 3 network intercepts and deliver them to a drop box just outside of the main wreckage. Whilst the 3 locations are fixed, it is not a simple case of hacking them. You need sufficient energy cells in your inventory, 100 apiece means 300 in total. Given the high demand for energy cells for energy ammo, this can be a challenge. Thankfully, the core itself has a decent amount of loot for you to use. These specific containers are usually a good help, containing mainly energy cells or nanites. Like the neural mapping contract, the intercepts appear to be lost on death, and you cannot loot them from your body or other players. As this mission does not require you to traverse as far on the map, it may be worthwhile dropping off the intercepts at 1 or 2 at a time. An all or nothing approach can be risky given the high resource cost. This mission can be finished quickly if you know the locations, and it's definitely a good end of server contract if you find yourself with a few minutes still on the clock. Finally, we're on to the core at 125k. The biggest payout mission will have you wandering around the central area and can be a challenge to squads and solo players alike. First, you need to hack 5 power junctions. These wall panels are in a different style to those you would find on the Defibrillation mission. They're in fixed locations, so can be completed fairly quickly once you know the layout. You will also need to craft a broadcast node. This item requires the most amount of resources, 50 energy cells, 8 electronic parts and 5 interface components, but these can be easy to obtain from killing other players or the loot boxes within the central wreckage. If it's not your first mission, it's worthwhile checking your inventory before crafting. Broadcast nodes can be picked up from other players' loot. Once you have the broadcast node, the final step is to use it on the central console. Like the Inroads mission, the central panel will only be highlighted once you have the broadcast node in your possession. Deploying it is not the same as a relay unit. Instead, it is a long hack that leaves you exposed to other players. This is the riskiest part, and I've experienced other players camping that location. Therefore, completing this as a solo player, you'll need to check the area first. The challenge is even one shot will stop your hack in the central console. Putting down a shield may protect yourself, but it is also a giant beacon inviting death. You will need to be quick. So there we have it, the 10 missions currently in game based on the December and January playtest. What's your experience of these missions? Do you have any top tips you'd recommend? Comment below.